Hello, my friends. Welcome to our weekly Wednesday Q&A session, my favorite day of the week. I love doing these Q&A sessions, and I've heard so many great things that you guys are really learning a lot in here. And so if you don't know me yet, I'm Jill. If you haven't seen me do any of these lives yet, this is my empowered fitness community for women 40 plus looking to get energized, confident, and strong. I come in here live twice a week. On Mondays, I do Monday Motivation, and on Wednesdays, I do my Q&A session. And this is a group for you to really get lots of resources if you've been struggling with hormonal weight gain, have been doing all the things and can't seem to get the weight to get off, or you're just a little confused as to how to get started and you need some guidance, support, love, and knowledge. And so that's why we're here, is to give you some eye-opening knowledge today. I've got some really great questions that came up from many of you, and I look forward to going over them today with you. So just a couple things that I also included in here for you. So today is 12/11/24. And I included my calendar link for you if you would like to schedule a call with me to discuss your individual questions, if you have anything specific going on, if you really are clueless as to what you're doing wrong and you want somebody to take a look at it. That's a great time for you and I to kind of figure out what are your goals, what's been holding you back. Are there things in your daily routine that are completely the wrong things and you're the one causing the problem, or what we should do to get you started. And so those are amazing free sessions with me. You are allowed to have one, and if you haven't done one, I highly suggest it. I don't know many people who are giving away free sessions like that. I also included the link to my Black Friday bundle. I literally want to keep this up the rest of the year because it is such a great opportunity for you to get a lot of my best resources that are going to get you amazing weight loss and get you that tight toned six-pack that you want, and you'll have all this stuff forever. It's 70% off. And so that is my flat belly bundle for only $99. And so I would say go for that bundle because you're going to want my Kickstart Cleanse. I forget which one I decided I want to do in the new year. I'm actually going to do Plan C next week, but I was thinking maybe we would do Plan B in the new year together on January 1st and all just lose weight in the new year and feel so good getting started. And so that includes all 4 of my fat shedding meal plans. They're 5-day meal plans that will help you lose 5 pounds in 5 days, plus my abs and glutes program, plus my macros nutrition program, which now includes the fat burning meal plan that over 50 ladies are doing with me right now that had them losing somewhere between 2 and 8 pounds in their first week this past week. An amazing fat shedding meal plan, and I just told them, I got cut off by the doorbell, but I was just telling them that you can eat chocolate like 4 times a day in that meal plan. So that's a really great bundle to grab. I know that oftentimes my menopausal metabolism reboot comes up, so I included the link to that program as well if you want to take a look at that too, okay? So let's get into it. First, I like to go through and let's figure out, let's just go person by person today and figure out what's going on and what questions we have. So we've got Susan here who wants to lose 10 to 15 pounds. And she's asking me if you can lose weight in your 60s. 100%. Of course you can. You can lose weight at any age doing the right things. And it just comes down to knowing exactly what it takes and then seeing it through. And a lot of people will get started, but then they let things come up, get in their way. They don't have a system for accountability. And maybe they don't know how things are changing in their 60s, but you can achieve anything you want to, and you can of course do that at any age. And the best thing is, if you are focused on it in your 60s, then you are going to have a great 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and you're going to feel so much better than so many of your friends who are going to be whining and complaining about how they have no waistline and that they're tired and that they just keep getting bigger and flabbier. And we want you to be doing all the right things to make sure that you have a really healthy and happy and full life for the next 30 plus years, right? Sounds amazing. So yes, Susan, it is possible to lose weight in your 60s. Let's do it. Set up a call with me, okay? All right, Roxanne. She says fitness training is holding her back. So I'm not sure if she's not doing it or if she's doing the wrong fitness training. Her question is, why am I gaining weight with menopause? I assume she wants to know how to stop gaining weight. So what happens, the reason why we gain weight, and I go way more in depth in the Menopausal Metabolism Reboot program, a lot more into the science of what's happening, but very simply, what's happening during menopause is we no longer need our reproductive hormones. And so, to be honest, yesterday, if you saw, I completed a new certification for in-depth advanced metabolism and hormones. And I did 16 hours of listening to a doctor talk science talk about the stages of the menstrual cycle and menopause. And interesting how you train and eat during the different days of your cycle could be interesting. But we talked about the estrogen and the progesterone and the testosterone and the relationship of those hormones and what happens. Now, estrogen and progesterone are like sisters. They're sister hormones. And the estrogen is the crazy wild sister, and the progesterone is that like, hey, like let's not do the bad things, is the helpful sister that tries to keep things in check. And so when our bodies are estrogen dominant, when progesterone starts to fall, estrogen's dominant, and it's like it can go crazy, and that can kind of set your nervous system on fire. And when that happens, we have another hormone called a stress hormone called cortisol, which can release. And when we have too much cortisol going on and that's not regulated, we can start to see especially belly fat come on in our tummy. And so a lot of that is that the estrogen and the progesterone have a different, relationship to each other. And you can see that not just in menopause, but during your cycle, right? When you got mood swings and cramps and this and that, more energy, less energy, that's the change throughout your cycle every 28 days of this craziness happening. Like, who designed us? We actually have a very special function as women in our lives, an amazing function. And so unfortunately, that's the downside of being able to reproduce. When we go through menopause, we actually start losing that estrogen because we no longer need it. We don't need it in that reproductive cycle to create the environment for the egg, for it to release, for it to be in a safe space, to be fertilized, and all the rest of the stuff of the birds and the bees. And so we also, like, estrogen is incredibly helpful to us with regards to insulin resistance and weight loss and stress management, all of these things that when we start to lose it during menopause, that is when we can see the weight gain. Because whereas you probably could have eaten more carbs in your 20s, it was like the estrogen was protecting us against getting fatter because we were eating carbs. Now we don't have that estrogen, and so we need to create the same effects in our own way, and that's where we need to take over and take the reins, where the estrogen is gone. So I know that was a little sciencey, but hopefully that gives you a picture of kind of like, why? Like, what's going on? It's not like you're just gaining weight for no reason. And so we just have to start doing new things to help ourselves, okay? Let's see. Michelle says anxiety and depression is holding her back. Absolutely. Anxiety, stress, that will not only cause more of that cortisol to release, but it will also, it will bring your mood, your energy down. It will have a big effect on your stomach and your metabolism. And the brain and the gut are connected. And when the brain is going through so much anxiety and depression, our stomach can get really out of whack. And vice versa. If our stomach is out of whack, if our gut is not in alignment and the good gut bacteria, then we can actually have a lot of brain fog, and we can have a lot of stress induced from stomach issues. So very interesting. I actually went through this as a child. When I would go through a lot of anxiety as a kid, I would get these massive stomach pains. And the only way for me to get rid of my stomach ache was I would have to put a fan on me. So I'm feeling the fan and the blowing, and I would put the TV on. And so my brain would be so distracted from my anxiety that my bellyache would go away. Kind of crazy, right? An interesting tie between my belly and my brain. So Michelle says, how do I make this less hard during the holidays? And so how to make this less hard during the holidays. So one big thing is that I started running this holiday shred cash challenge, and I know a lot of my peers, other coaches in the industry, are not running challenges right now. They're like, nobody wants to diet and exercise during the holidays. I'm like, yeah, that's why they struggle and they gain weight and they feel awful and then they get sick. What people need is the actual focus, the actual framework, something to, something to check off each day, something small, and a ton of accountability and incentive. So I'm running a challenge right now. It was after Thanksgiving through right before Christmas. And these ladies are like, oh my God, thank God I have this framework for nutrition, a meal plan to follow. Jill telling me to prepare my food every Friday. So I do this on Thursdays or Fridays. So this is December 16th to the 22nd. I already created my plan for next week. That way on Friday, I can say to everybody, hey, it's time for you to plan, prepare, get ready, know what you're doing so that you can have massive success in the week to come. I even started doing it for the week of the 23rd to the 29th during Christmas, figuring out what's happening during Christmas. I got to even call the gyms in New York and figure out how to get myself a week-long membership, pull some strings, call in some favors, And so planning, preparing, having accountability, those things make it easier during the holidays. And like I said, being able to eat chocolate 4 times a day built into your meal plan makes it so much easier. Eating plenty of food makes it easier. Having what I call mechanisms for when you go to a party, right? I don't know if I dropped them in here, but if not, then I will. I've got some party offerings that you can bring with you if you have a holiday party coming up. Things that you can bring so that there's going to be healthy options at your party because you're going to bring them. I didn't add them in here, but I will after our live. So just, recipes that you can know that there's going to be something for you at the party, right? And so those are some of the things that I think are going to be really helpful. So most of all, having a plan, having support, doing all the stuff. Don't let go of your workouts because you're extra busy. That's got to be the priority. Maybe the cleaning the house or giving the dog a bath. Maybe those are the things that go to the wayside. I started calling Buddy Smelly Buddy. So I keep meaning to give him a bath, but we've got so much stuff going on and I'm not going to forego my workouts in order to give the dog a bath. I'd rather just spray him with some, fragrance. So you got to have your priorities right. Okay. Let's see. Rachel says lack of time is holding her back. And what are the best ways to work out for perimenopause? I can tell you, and I see Stephanie's on here and Sahara's on here. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Jennifer. Angie. So those who are in my holiday cash challenge right now will tell you that, number one, there's no excuse for lack of time because I've given them 10-minute workouts. If any of them, they can do up to 30 minutes a day, but if any of them just have 10 minutes in the day, then they've got to make time to do 10 minutes. And honestly, they're not going to get super sweaty. Your hair's not going to get all messy. You could do it. I told somebody, do them in your pajamas, get them done. There's no excuse. You got to find 10 minutes to do your workout. So doing a 10-minute workout, doing a short workout, my first couple programs, 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you can absolutely do that. If you're having lack of time because of that, I am one of the busiest people that I know, and all you got to do is you got to be planned and prepared and just know what's going on in your life, right? And make sure that you're organizing things around what you have to get done, right? Everybody's got time in the morning if you wake up a little bit earlier, right? The best ways to work out for perimenopause is to lift heavy. So that is why every day in our 10-minute tone up, we choose one body part. Maybe there's one day that there's 2 body parts, and we work that one body part to its max for 10 minutes. You're not going to be able to do much more for that. If you're working to your max, you're just maxing out that muscle. And then you get to recover that muscle for the rest of the week, because then tomorrow we're going to work a different muscle. So that's going to be the best way for you to get that really great strength training done. You want to be doing strength training. It's going to be way more worth your time than wasting time on cardio that's going to make you hungrier. And it's going to create permanent change for your body as long as you stay consistent and that you're doing things that are progressive, meaning each week you're doing things that are harder, and then that you change your program every 3 to 4 weeks. That is my philosophy on getting results in your fitness and nutrition and in your body transformation, your body composition transformation. And so that is going to be my suggestion, is lift heavy and walk, right? Go outside, get fresh air, get vitamin D, relax, okay? All right. Vicky says, nothing seems to work. The scale won't budge. She says, my hormones and my thyroid are all good. I exercise, I eat well, but my scale continues to go up. So one thing I want to note is eating well. And I say this, if you go back to my Monday motivation post, in the action items, one of the action items was to watch my recent webinar that I did with the pitfalls of weight loss and why women are gaining weight and not losing weight after 40. One of the points that I make is that eating healthy does not equal eating for weight loss. So there is a difference between being a healthy eater and eating for weight loss. And so that's one thing we might need to refine and understand a little bit further. And then the next thing is, another thing is change. So if we don't change what we're doing, then the body will adjust itself. Like your metabolism is a really, really smart thing. And so it will adjust so that you're not losing weight, right? And so it'll slow down if you're losing weight too fast. It will speed up if you are, metabolizing too fast. And so you have to be changing things so that your body kind of needs to adjust all the time. So that's one thing. One interesting new thing that I learned, and this is what I bring to the table, is I'm constantly learning new things. So I tell you, I just did a 16-hour course on female metabolism and in-depth into the hormones of the menstrual cycle. And very interesting that my professor, his doctor, he was talking about changing up your method of nutrition every 2 weeks. And I was like, wow, that would be an interesting test. Like, that was very exciting. So I might put something together in 2025 where we test out doing new nutrition every 2 weeks. And I might start testing that with my Empowered Fitness Mastery coaching clients. So if you are interested in coaching with me and maybe trying something new, this could be a really cool thing for the new year, because chances are if he's telling us that it works, it works. It's still, you have to be doing the right things. So you can't just pick a diet and do it. You still got to be doing the right things, especially the right things for you at this time. So my point was, number one, eating well doesn't mean eating for weight loss. And the other point I wanted to make about this is that nutrition and fitness aren't everything, right? There's so many other things that factor into weight loss. So I would tend to ask Vicky, how is your stress levels? How is your sleep? How do you do hydrating? And all those things, because that might also come into play with what she's doing. And then also, what is your body composition like right now? Do we need more calories? Do we need less calories? We have to kind of figure out where you're at, and then what you're doing, and then what's kind of happening to you and from your environment. We have a lot of things that can cause stress, whether it's mental, physical, environmental, toxins in our body from even healthy foods that we're eating, all kinds of stuff, right? Maybe we need some supplementation to help us because we're missing things. So there's a lot of stuff going on in our bodies, right? Okay, Nicole wants to build muscle, and she wants to know how much cardio is too much. Nicole, if your goal is to build muscle, all the cardio is too much. So I would just focus in the period that you want to build. Cardio is not going to do you any good, okay? You got to eat plenty, and you've got to work the muscles in a very productive way that you are progressing, right? And so again, every time I build a new strength training program, you're going to notice the same thing. Those who've done all of my strength training programs or have done one or two, you are going to very quickly learn that Jill does not give you the same thing for 12 weeks long. You're going to get different. It's going to progress from week to week. You will feel it. You will see it. You will know exactly how you're progressing so that you can build muscle. And we do not focus on cardio during a muscle building period. Periodizing is something that we want to be doing in not only nutrition, like I just told you, but in our fitness as well. That's going to give us new results. Okay. All right. Let's see. Bonnie says dessert and chocolate is holding her back. Hey, Bonnie, embrace it. Let's make lots of desserts and use healthy chocolate sources. I know that the question always comes up. How do you eat 4 servings of chocolate a day, Jill? Well, I will tell you, I think that my new protein bars are arriving today. I have multiple supplements arriving today. And half of them, I'm sure, are chocolate. The first thing is that in the morning when I wake up, I have a half of a protein bar, and the new ones that I ordered are chocolate fudge brownie. They are delicious. They remind me of the brownies that we had at lunchtime in high school. That came in the plastic stuff, or like I don't even know what company makes the little brownies with the little like line and the walnuts. Anyways, I haven't had those in years, but these protein bars are amazing. And I eat half of one in the morning when I wake up because, hey, chocolate. And then I eat half of one after my lunch because that's when I also crave chocolates. I just finished my, turkey meat sauce. I know you wanted to see my empty plate. And that's like, I can't wait for the guy to come, the mailman to come with my protein bars so I can have that chocolate fudge brownie protein bar, okay? Chocolate protein shakes, love chocolate protein shakes. And then in the evening, another thing that the mailman's coming with today is the chocolate glazed donut sleepy time hot chocolate. I'm super excited to try this new flavor. I've been doing the brownie batter recently. It's sleepy time hot chocolate. It's like 15, 20 calories. I drink it at night. It puts me to sleep. It keeps me asleep. I get the most amazing sleep, which helps me in my journey. And so it's an amazing thing that it helps me, and it helps me with my chocolate cravings. So there you go. Chocolate 4 times a day. Okay. Thank you very much. If you want my fat shedding meal plan, buy that, the holiday bundle, okay? The flat tummy bundle. So Bonnie, you just got to work it in properly, right? And then you'll be like, I don't want to eat any more dessert. I'm eating chocolate 4 times a day. She's wondering how to balance hormones through food. That is something that is covered in my Menopausal Metabolism Reboot, Bonnie. My friend Monica is known as the hormone detective, and she talks a lot about foods and hormones. And that's a really great subject. We want to be eating whole foods, anti-inflammatory foods, foods that are not going to bloat us, foods that are not going to cause inflammation, and we want to have balance in our system. So any diet where you're really, cutting things out to extremes or having too much of anything could cause hormone imbalance. And so we want to have a nice balanced approach, and then we want to change it so that our body, kind of has to adjust and be smart. All right. We got 5 minutes left. Lori says fatigue is holding her back and she needs easy recipes. So nothing's easier than my fat shedding meal plan. It was funny. Judy asked us in our little chat group the other day, I can't find the ingredients and how to make the protein balls. And I was like, it's right in the guide. She's like, can't find it. And I was like, it says, in the macros list exactly what the ingredients are. And she says, I know, but all it says is put all the ingredients together. I was like, but that's the recipe. I love to make really easy recipes, things that I can dump a ton of stuff in a pot and then divide it out between 7 days and have, the meals done. I make my breakfast all in one shot. I make my breakfast quiche, divide it into pieces. I make, all kinds of stuff, big pot of soup. And so I've got lots of easy recipes that go along with all the meal plans for my programs, whether it's just nutrition programming or fitness programs. I've created meal plans for all the fitness programs as well. So Lori, maybe we should have a call and figure out what your best path is. Okay. Barbara says she had a stroke almost a year and a half ago and is now in menopause. Oh, that sounds awful. She says, I work out at home, I eat good and healthy, and can't seem to lose the weight. So that seems a lot like what Vicky had said, right? I kind of think I'm doing all the good things, but I'm not seeing the change. And that might be that you need to change things up. How long have you been doing the same thing? I spoke with somebody the other day who had been doing the same thing for 5 months and is not seeing results, and that's because she's doing the same thing for 5 months. So we've got to change up what we're doing. We've got to identify any red flags. A lot of people, when we hop on these calls, I will say, tell me what your food is, daily food. Just take me all the way through the day, what you're eating, what times. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Let's not do that anymore, okay? And then tell me a little bit about your fitness routine. Okay, we got to change that. We need more structure. And then we'll see changes just like that. And that's why generally when somebody comes on board in the first 5 days, we're going to see like 3 to 5 pounds lost just by aligning what we need to be doing, right? And that feels really good. Christina, she says being lazy is holding her back and not knowing how to get started. So not knowing how to get started, I understand that. Like when there's so many things out there, you don't know where to start. It's super confusing, so you don't do anything. Let's not confuse that with laziness. If you just don't want to do anything, then start doing stuff because you're not going to get anywhere if you don't do anything. She says, can it be done? I will tell you whatever you're referring to, yes, it can be done. Almost anything can be done if you put in the work, right? It can't be done if you're going to be lazy and characterize yourself in that way, okay? You can say, I have not been doing anything, but I'm ready to start. Then that's going to be a much better language to be talking about yourself, and that's going to lead you to better things, okay? So Christina, book a call, take some action, right? Let's see. Christy says she's got the hormones and a bad back are holding her back. She says, I'm wondering what I can do to lose weight. I tried low carb, no carb, not eating much, only fruits and vegetables, and have not lost, but just keep gaining. This list of diets, bad diets, tells me that you are chasing something that doesn't exist for the long term, that's not going to serve you for the long term. So, Christy, what if we actually just ate everything and didn't try to do any of these crazy things for extreme weight loss or for quick weight loss, and instead we stuck to the things that will work for the long run? We learn really great principles of balanced eating and having an understanding of why low carb is a bad idea. No carb is an even worse idea. No carb means you're cutting out fruits and vegetables. That means goodbye all nutrients. Not eating much is never going to serve you. Only fruits and vegetables means that you are missing your protein and fats. And so those, again, why are we cutting everything out? What if we add all the things in? Maybe you would see way better results, okay? So everything you listed is all the reasons why you're not losing weight and why you're actually gaining weight. And my guess is that because these are all so extreme, you're probably not staying on anything for a long time, which means that you're probably rebounding. So you might like do something for a couple days and then you just go to all your old habits, okay? Nancy says she needs to start making time so she can lose weight. She needs help. Nancy, book a call with me. And Melinda asks, I'm not sure what to do in a gym and what to eat. Melinda and I had a call the other day. Melinda, you have some suggestions, options for me in your inbox. So let's pick one and get started, okay? So that's it for today. If you had any extra questions, you can go ahead and pop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. My plea for you today is to start taking action. Do something new if you want to get a new result, okay? And I hope you learned some really great stuff today. Come back next week. I'll be here. I hope you're here. And let's do this. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.